All right, we live. Welcome to Sports Steady Radio, the night shift. Yeah, remember last week I told you guys that we was gonna come up with a name for the late night, well, the night show, and we came up with the night shift, thanks to a little help from my friends. So, welcome to the night shift on Sports Steady Radio. We're gonna be talking. Now we only here till 4 o'clock, people. Maybe 4:30. I might because I know I was supposed to be here from 1 to 4, but there was some other stuff going on. We had to delay it. But I promise you guys that next Saturday, next Sunday morning or Saturday night, whatever, we will be on exactly 1 p.m. Central, and we'll be on for about 3 hours. But today we're only gonna get us for about an hour. 4:15, 4:30 ish. So that's that. Now we got that out the way. So how about there's some big games coming up today across the sports world. I mean, this might be one of the best Sundays in sports, besides the obviously like NFL Super Bowl weekend and all that stuff like that. But we talking about multiple sports because usually Super Bowl Sunday only the NFL owns the Super Bowl, right? But we're talking about this Sunday with so much going on, and we got Knicks Heat game 1, we got Warriors Kings game 7 in the NBA, we got baseball action, Cubs Marlins if you like baseball, Red Sox Guardians. I mean, baseball is baseball. It's not really anything spectacular going on with baseball, unless, But there's also hockey, Game 7, Panthers Bruins. You got the Seattle and Avalanche, the Kraken versus the Avalanche. So all day long, there's games. It's kind of like an NFL Sunday, but with playoff action, right? So it starts off at noon Eastern time. Knicks Heat at noon. That's when it kicks off. Turn on your TVs. All day sports, all day long, right? Noon, Heat Knicks, and then 2:30 Warriors Kings. Then you got a bunch of baseball throughout the day that starts afternoon. And then, you got hockey at 5:30. Panthers Bruins 5:30 Central. 8:30 you got the Avalanche and the Kraken. Right? So this is what you got, folks, all day long. And of course, at 12 p.m. we got the Cup Series at Dover Motor Speedway. That's also 12 o'clock on FS1 for all you NASCAR fans out there. So, I mean, all day long, you got something happening. So, so let's take it back. Let's go back in the time machine for a second. And let's go to... Hey, what's going on there? What's up with the sound effects? Okay, come on now. Don't mess up my show. So I'm the only one that pushes buttons around here. Okay, nobody else. Don't be trying to be all. Don't try to think. Don't try to guess what I'm thinking, and then you press the wrong button. That wasn't even the right button. The button was supposed to be that one. As we rewind back to Saturday night in the association, game 1, Suns Nuggets. Now, I thought the Nuggets would win game 1, but I thought I got the Suns winning the series. But man, the Denver Nuggets, they put a whooping on the Phoenix Suns to take a 1-0 lead in that series. They put a ass whooping on those Phoenix Suns, and I don't know, man. I think this Nuggets team is they're number 1 seed for a reason, folks. I'm not gonna lie. I did sleep on them. you know what I'm saying? I slept on them a bit. I was already writing tickets for the Phoenix Suns to be in the finals. I really did. But Denver Nuggets, they're for real. That's why they're the 1 seed. And Jamal Murray, the guy that I don't really know much about because, I mean, I know he's good. Don't get me wrong. I knew he was good. But remember, he was hurt, I think, last year or the year before, and kind of was the reason why the Nuggets didn't advance. And I kind of almost forgot about him. And then, but Murray is legit, right? 34 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals. Led the Nuggets. You got Yoke, who's MVP, obviously. And the Phoenix Suns got blown out, despite the fact that they shot 51% in the game. So this is why I still think the Suns are going to win the series is because they still shot 51%. How does that even happen? How do you lose a game by almost 20 and you shoot 50%? It's kind of weird. But here's the kicker though. The Denver Nuggets took a lot more shots. I'm talking 101 shots. Suns only shot 84 times. So the Suns, for some reason, are not shooting more. I think that's going to change. I mean, they just didn't take enough shots. That's why they lost the game probably. They didn't take enough. They didn't shoot enough. Now, imagine that. You got a team with Durant, Booker, and you're saying, oh, you didn't shoot enough. Right? So, even though it was a blowout, I'm not really worried about Phoenix. But the Nuggets look good. Because everything looked good on the numbers. This is why numbers are very jaded and sometimes with these stats, because the Suns shot 82% from the free throw line, 14 out of 17. Denver was 13 out of 15. So both teams had equal free throws as far as makes and takes. 3-pointers, Suns was 7 to 23. Nuggets was 16 to 37. That was a big key. So they would jacking up 3, shot 43%. I just don't see that happening for a whole series. I think that comes back down. I can see the Nuggets roughly around 35%. At the best, 35%. I think the Suns will rise theirs back up. But yeah, just that the Nuggets outshot the Phoenix Suns tonight. Turnovers, big deal here. You even saw some of the highlights if you watched. I mean, Kevin Durant was getting stripped. Like, they were just taking this guy's candy. Every time you turn around, somebody, Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, guys are getting stripped. Like, straight up. Cookies, give me those, bye-bye, snatchies. And you're like, damn, you guys can't even dribble no more? Like, I know the Suns are not this elite defensive juggernaut. I mean, not the Suns, the Denver Nuggets. They're not this elite defensive juggernaut. And Durant's getting stripped away like it's no tomorrow. It's like, wow. But so that was a big deal. 16 turnovers for the Phoenix Suns, which was a problem. Everything, like I said, most of the stuff was pretty even. Points all turnovers obviously was plus 11 for the Denver Nuggets. Second chance points were pretty even. Fast break points pretty even. The fouls were even. I mean, both teams called fouls 19 times. So, considering the numbers, I still like the Phoenix Suns in the series. The further it goes, but Denver did make a statement in Game 1, so you got to give them credit for that. The Denver Nuggets made a statement there, folks. They did, and they're letting people know that we're not soft. And they're not. They got some guys. They got role players, man. Those guys can ball. They can play. You got to give them credit. You like what you see from the Denver Nuggets. I still think one of those two teams will come out the West. I'm more confident in Phoenix still. I'm still going to ride the Phoenix train. I'm thinking Phoenix still going to win that series and still meet that conference final matchup against probably the Lakers, to be honest, because let's transition over to the Sacramento series. The NBA is going to fix it for the Lakers. So today's going to really determine how much the NBA will get involved with the Lakers in the next series, because we got Game 7, Warriors and Knicks Kings, and I like the Kings here. So I want to put that out there. I like the Kings to win this game. They're the better team, right? But would I be shocked if Golden State won? No, I would not. I would not be shocked. This is what the Kings need to do. The Sacramento Kings, they need to keep a 8 to 9 point lead throughout the game. If they go up double digits, they need to keep their foot on the gas. Do not let up. You're at home. I know how easy it is for a home team to go up big and kind of take their foot off the gas a bit. Don't do it. If you go up big, keep the foot on the gas. Because the Warriors, you're younger than the Warriors. You're faster. Run them out the gym. That's the only way you're going to be taken seriously. Because if the Warriors go down 10, 15 early, they're not going to panic. You know why? Because they're the Warriors. They're an experienced team. They're not going to panic, right? So don't get gassed if you go on a quick 8-9-0 run and think, oh, yeah, we got this. We're going to beat them. We're at home. Don't do it because the Warriors will trap you that way. They'll have you thinking you got them, and then they come back and beat you, right? So do not fall for the trap. If you go up, keep the lead, keep it above 5, keep it above 6, and then try to increase the lead each quarter. The goal should be to win every quarter. You win every quarter, you win. Don't try to beat them in one quarter. You win every quarter. So if you up 5-6 in the first quarter, going into the second quarter, you pretend that it's 0-0 again, and you try to get another 5-6 point lead to end that quarter. That's how you do it. That's how you psychologically keep yourself from getting too hyped and too excited for thinking that Golden State's going to lay down, because they won't. They're not going to lay down. So I fully expect Steve Kerr to probably start Draymond Green in Game 7, because it hasn't really worked out, him coming off the bench. They need Draymond in early to mess with Sabonis a bit to get him off. And Sabonis really hasn't had that monster game yet, and because he's kind of soft, right? Sabonis is a little soft, and it's basically been Fox and Monk at the guards. And I just don't think that Clay and Curry I think they were 15 of 41 in Game 6. I don't think that happens again, right? They had 8 turnovers combined. I just don't see that happening in Game 7. One of those guys are going to have an explosive night. And I think Curry definitely can go off for 35-40. I fully expect Curry to at least get 30 today. Clay, if he gets 25-30 and is efficient, see, I'm looking for efficiency from both of those guys, because we know they can still get you 30 even if they shoot 20%, because they're going to jack up shots. If Clay's like 12 or 15 or if he's like 8 for 12, 8 for 13, and he got like 30 points, that's bad news for Sacramento, right? If Clay can get you 30 without taking too many shots, it's going to be done. Good night for Sacramento. So that's what you're going to watch out for. I'm watching out for the shots, the amount of shots, the efficiency from Clay and Curry, and mostly Clay, because the Curry, either way, he's going to get his. But if Clay is efficient and has a big number, the Kings are in trouble. And Sacramento, what I'm looking for the Kings side is Murray, Herter, Harrison Barnes must be better than they were in Game 6, because they weren't good at all. Fox and Monk will not be enough in Game 7. They're going to need another guy to have a big night. And it may not be Sabonis. It could be, but it may not be. Because for some reason, the Warriors have been able to kind of neutralize Sabonis a bit, just a little bit. They've been roughing him up a bit. You know, he's all blacked eye out and beat up and stuff. So they've been getting to him. He's having a hard time with that physicality. They've been beating him up, so he might be beat up. So I fully expect that Murray needs to step up. He's young. He could shoot. He plays a lot of minutes. He needs to step up. He's the guy that needs to step up. He got to step up more than anybody in my book because he's going to be on the floor. Like Brown's going to play him. So I think he played 45 minutes last game and didn't do shit. Offensively, he was terrible. So he needs to hit. He's been good throughout the series, but him and Herter need to hit shots, man. They're going to have wide open shots and they need to hit them. If they're knocking shots down, Sacramento's going to breeze through victory. If one or two of those guys, those others besides Monk and Fox, are hitting open shots, they can beat the Warriors by double digits easy. This should be if everything is clicking for the Kings, they should beat the Warriors by double digits. That's right, I said it. I know you're thinking I'm crazy, but I'm not. Just watch the series. Because the Warriors are not really doing anything defensively that great on the others. They haven't hit shots. They're getting the shots and it's not finishing. So if they're at home and they're hitting those shots, Kings, like I said, Kings can win this game by double digits and put it in to the Warriors dynasty, because we know if the Warriors lose this game and they lose game 7, that dynasty's over. They're going to break that thing up. I can tell you right now, somebody's going to be gone. Draymond could be gone. They may make a couple trades. They're going to have to really consider it because they're not going to want to pay the luxury tax for a team that lost in the first round. And Steph is getting a year older. Clay is going to get a year older. Draymond's be a year older. Jordan Poole hasn't really stepped up much. So somebody's going to be moved. It could be Jordan Poole. I mean, I don't know. But I can guarantee you that core will not be together next year, especially if they lose game 7. You can mark it in the books. And Draymond may be the first to go. He may be the first to go. But, yeah, that's what I believe. And there's going to be a lot of shakers and moving going on this offseason. The Milwaukee Bucks, they got to shake things up. They lost in the first round, and Giannis went off on the reporter. You know, he's upset. They're saying he may not even sign an extension this summer because he's going to try to see if to force the Bucks' hand to see if they rebuild the team. Because the new ownership took over for the Bucks. They're going to want to save money, cut down. They're not going to want to pay those high taxes for these guys. I think Middleton's going to be making 40 plus. That's just ridiculous. I mean, Middleton's a good piece, don't get me wrong, but 40 plus million a year? Jesus. Middleton and Giannis are on the hook combined for like 80 plus million next season. Like, that's just ridiculous. So you know trades are coming from Milwaukee, without a doubt. And so I mean the Bucks are their run is about over. Unless they can figure out a way to tweak something and make a trade that can bring them another stud that can run with Giannis, I think the Bucks run is just about over. They was exposed, and maybe if they can move Middleton. I don't know if they can. Holiday may not be back. A couple of those core pieces are not going to come back. I mean, first move I do is like right after the game, I'm cutting Grayson Allen for a fact. I mean, did you see that? Grayson Allen. I mean, this guy didn't even get a shot off with the season on the line. And then, yeah, people on social media really try to defend this guy and say, what was he supposed to do? He was double teamed and did you watch the video? The guy had a chance to had a shot. What are you supposed to do? Shoot the goddamn ball. That's what you do. Dude tried to do a Euro step layup? Like, what was he thinking? He was on drugs. That's what he was thinking. He must have been high as a kite. But, yeah. And then Giannis can't hit free throws. You know? That's a bad thing. Like, when your star player can't hit free throws, that's not good. You know? But, and it goes back because I really believe that if the Bucks were fortunate to have gotten to the finals that first time because, like I said, they were like an inch away from losing. Durant and the Brooklyn Nets pretty much had them on the ropes. If Durant would have had his full squad, Bucks don't even sniff the NBA Finals. So I'm just letting you know. So Giannis is fortunate to have a ring at this point. He's fortunate to have one. And that might be the only one he gets. That's why it's funny when these guys win and guys try to make comparisons like, oh my God, look at Giannis is on pace to do this, and that. No other player is better. Like, no. Guys, Giannis is not on the same level as Tim Duncan and Michael Jordan and these guys who led their team, their franchises. He's not on that level, folks. It's even in this weak era, it's still hard to win a title in the NBA. And that's why Michael Jordan is the undisputed GOAT, because when Jordan started winning, he kept winning. Like when he got that taste, he won more, right? He just went on a run. That's why it's hard to try to compare these guys. Oh, Jordan versus LeBron. No, LeBron's not even in the top 5 class. He's not in Jordan's class. Come on. These guys will win in this era and then disappear and then choke. Like how you at this moment in your career? Giannis has been in the league what? He's been in the league a while now. He's not like a spring chicken. He's 28 years old. He's been around a while, and he can't hit free throws. How's it, like Michael? Like go back to Michael Jordan's early time, right? Because a lot of people like to criticize Jordan, saying, "Oh, he wasn't a great 3-point shooter." Right? Even though he proved that he could hit the 3. But Jordan early on, driving to the hole, blown by everybody, when he was skinny, 190 pounds, getting beat up in the hole, putting on some muscle, perfected his mid-range. I mean, this guy improved his game every single year, even after he won awards, right? In 88, he could have easily said, you know what? I'm 4 years in the league. I got all these awards. I could just continue the same way I'm playing and rack up more stats and awards for the rest of my career. No, he didn't do that. What did he do? He expanded his game. He improved his game, became lethal, deadly. And you saw a different type of Michael Jordan going into the 90s. Comes back from baseball. Again, same thing. So, I mean, Giannis, we've been talking about for years what Giannis needed to develop to know how to shoot. And in this series, he's missing a lot of free throws to the point where he didn't even want to touch the basketball. You saw that one play where Giannis, I think he won the tip, and he literally just like threw the ball out of his hand like a hot potato. I don't want it. And why isn't Giannis guarding Jimmy Butler in certain situations? I know people say, well, he's not a guard, so he can't. Come on. First you brag to me how versatile Giannis is. He can guard all positions, but now you're telling me that Giannis is not a guard, so he's not supposed to guard Jimmy Butler. Come on. Jimmy Butler just torched the Bucks in the other game. He had like 50-something. Clearly, Jimmy Butler is destroying you guys. Yeah, Jrue Holiday is supposed to be a good defender and all. I get it. But you telling me switching it up and having Giannis at times on Jimmy wouldn't do anything? Giannis is longer. It's a longer reach. Maybe he could have disrupted a little bit and forced someone else on the Heat to make shots. I mean, that's an adjustment that you have to make, especially in a series where you are facing elimination. I don't want to hear about Jrue Holiday is a good defender. He can. That's his job. That's why he's there. No, you make adjustments. That's what good coaches do. You make adjustments. Hey, Giannis, you pick him up a couple plays. You get what I'm saying? Like, what you're supposed to be the best player in the league. You're supposed to be you want MVP, right? I mean, what are we talking about here? But the excuses that people make because they like Giannis because he's a great guy. he's such a good guy, so we have to give him the benefit of the doubt and excuse him for losing. No, you can criticize Giannis for losing in the first round. That's what that's what you're allowed to do. Do not get caught up in this. It's not morally right to do that. We have to be compassionate. What do you mean? We could still say, "Hey, man, you guys folded. You choked. You didn't win. You're the 1 seed." So the 1 seed loses in the first round to the 8th seed, and we're supposed to just what? Oh, don't worry about it because Giannis is such a great guy, so we're just gonna excuse it. No, we're not talking about how good he is as a person. You could still say Giannis is a great guy and still criticize him for losing in the first round. You could do both, people. Like, what is going on here with this new generation of people so woke and it's so annoying. Like, it's like you guys are such a sensitive pussies. Unbelievable. That's why Giannis was able to snap on the reporter because he was so coddled. The reporter asks a legitimate question, and people get on the reporter. Oh, how you ask that question? He should be more passionate. He just lost a series. What do you mean? Did he fail? He's talking about the basketball fail, not life fail. Like his life. Obviously, no, he's not failing in life. And I love how all these people, non-sports people, try to take that clip and jump on it. Yeah, he talked about the man came from a dirt country and was whatever his background is. That has nothing to do with what the guy was asking. He wasn't talking about his background and where he grew up at. This is the NBA playoffs we're talking about. We're talking about a number 1 seed, an MVP player who's arguably the best player in basketball, depending on who you ask, losing in the first round to the number 8 seed. We're asking him, do you consider this season a failure? There's no problem with that question. Because in the eyes of some, it would be considered a failure. When you lose, when you're the number 1 seed and you lose to the 8th seed, you fail. That's a failed season. If the number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament loses to the 16th seed, your season is a failure because you're the 1 seed. You should not be losing. And that's a failure for you, even though it's a one and done. This is a best of 7, and we get it. We know you was hurt a couple games, but when they asking you considered the season a failure, we're talking about you as in your whole team. But you took it personal, and you got all emotional trying to snap. Oh yeah, I'm not fail. And then you got people defending you, bringing up how you grew up, trying to apply that it was a dumb question to ask a guy who grew up from where he came from to ask if he failed. That's not what they were talking about. But that's where we're at today. It's like you can't even point out a temporary downfall. Like, yes, are we not allowed to say, hey, man, you guys choked? It used to be like that. You used to be able to hear people who cover the game say, hey, man, this team sucks. This team didn't do well. This team had a bad year. This team should have won this series. But to me, it feels like Giannis is trying to I think there's something much more to that outburst than what you saw. I think Giannis is trying to build up an excuse to leave Milwaukee. That's what I really believe. I think Giannis is trying to find a way, trying to build up an excuse, because he knows, he sees the landscape in Milwaukee. He sees that the Bucks are strapped. They can't make a lot of moves. The team is pretty much going to be the same. And he's seeing all these players going around, teaming up, super teams. And this guy wants to leave Milwaukee. He does. He got a taste of that winning. He got a taste of that accolades. And he's probably being told, hey, man, if you get out of Milwaukee and go to another market, we can get you more endorsements. We can get you bigger deals. Because he's not getting that many endorsements in Milwaukee. Yeah, he's one of the best players in the league, but he's still limited on reach. Because besides Milwaukee and many other areas, most people don't know who this guy is. He's popular amongst NBA hardcore fans. People know, but he's not marketable outside, right? Durant just got a lifetime deal by Nike, I think it was, or Adidas, one of them. Right? Durant just got a lifetime deal. Giannis is trying to get to that part where he's a brand outside of Milwaukee Bucks, like KD is, right? LeBron. These guys are brands outside of basketball. They got other stuff going on. They got the boardroom. They got their podcast, the shop, all the stuff like that. Giannis doesn't have that yet. And he's 28, 29 years old. So he's in a different mindset now. He's thinking, man, I got to get out of Milwaukee. I can guarantee you that he's not going to – I don't see him signing an extension. I think he's not going to be there long. I think he's going to request a trade maybe. And they're going to try to tie it in until he's not being appreciated and the Bucks are not going to want to change the team or they're going to rebuild. And you're going to see it. And I guarantee you. And look, Buck fans, I'm not trying to scare you guys. I'm not trying to hate. I'm just looking at, we've seen this before. We've seen this scenario build up before, right, with big name stars and smaller markets. This is not new. So him snapping at the reporter, I think that's something else going on. That's not really about the question. You get what I'm saying? There's something else there. He's trying to brew up some controversy, so people are gonna write about it and try to, he's trying to get his way out, but wants to be the good guy in the process. And it might work because many people love him. Hey man, Giannis, you deserve better. Like, dude, you lost. So, where does Giannis end up? I don't know. That's a conversation we're gonna have to have another day. But I just think that we have to look at that as what it is. He's trying to maneuver his way up out of Milwaukee. So, yeah, that's that. I mean, I don't know what you guys think. Let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree with that. We're on twitter.com/SportsSteadyTV, SportsSteady Radio. Not SportsSteady Radio. We don't have a radio page. SportsSteady TV. And we're on Twitch, live on Twitch. We're on Rumble. And we're on another platform I'm not going to say because I don't want to promote them. Because they've been banning us. So we are live over there, but we're being banned. So Rumble. And we're live on Rumble. We're live on Twitch, and another platform that starts with a Y. Because they've been shadow banning us. I don't know why. We ain't do nothing wrong. They just will not. They just hate us. I don't know. All our Sports Steady channels have been banned. That's what I've been told from a few other people. They said, hey man, we've been getting shadow banned. But Twitch is so weird though. Twitch got these girls that be licking devices on the website. Like I log in, right, to get ready to set up for the show, like to get the stream key and all that so we can go live. And the first thing I see on the page is these chicks all lined in different videos. They're like licking some kind of device. They're like, what the fuck is that? I was like, it's so strange. It's like, what the hell are they doing? They're like, hear the sounds of like. I was like, what are they doing? But they got people watching. Right? They got like hundreds of views on Twitch. I was like, is that what? Maybe we got to do sports talking like, and like make sounds or something to get some people to watch us? I don't get it. Maybe we should hire some females. Hey man, you want female sports talk at night? Every time I give out an opinion, just make a sound, do something. I don't know, like, what the hell is that? But I mean, we're in some weird times, people. I mean, I guess that's that's content now, and maybe that's why we're not getting the views because we don't have chicks. But I gotta find me a female to co-host, right? Oh man! All right, okay. Let's be back to the show. We got about 15 minutes, maybe 20, 30 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, man, I don't know. That thing is so weird, man. They're over there licking their ears and stuff. And they're like some of them are half naked too. It's like, okay. Is this like a porn site now? Twitch has turned to porn. So another event happened over the week. On Thursday, the NFL draft took place as we transition to sports again. I know you guys are like, what the hell are they talking about over there? Yeah, I don't even know. Just weird. So the NFL draft on Thursday, we go over. I like how ESPN put out a tweet on draft night. Oh, we got the first 4 quarterbacks were black or some shit. Like ESPN loves playing a race card. Like they do not miss an opportunity over there in Bristol. They don't miss an opportunity to play the race card at the NFL. They just don't. I was like, God damn, these guys put out a tweet. So let's look at all the draft picks here and see what some people are handing out scores for the picks. So the Dallas Cowboys, which I like to call them the Dallas Cowgirls. We're going to start out with the NFC East. So the Cowgirls, they had 8 picks, in the draft. And they got the Monty Smith guy, Shoemaker, a couple of Michigan guys in the first and second round. And they gave the Dallas Cowboys a B. Said their first round pick was a bit of a surprise with so many procrastinators locking in at tight end at number 26. But Dallas should be commended for not forcing it. Addressing the interior defensive line with Smith, an ascending player with freaky athletic traits, and then circling back to get his Michigan teammate at tight end was a better move. Don't sleep on overshooting either. The safety cover could bring some much-needed coverage to the linebacker group. It's not the most spectacular haul, but this feels like another Cowboy class that we'll look back on fondly. Well, the Cowboys, they do. Cowboys do pretty decent in the draft. They do draft pretty well, especially on the defensive end. They've been pretty well at that. So I think that B grade, B minus grade might be pretty good. New York Giants. They gave the Giants a B plus. So we'll see what that is. They got a wideout in the 3rd round. They got a running back in the 5th round out of Oklahoma, which they needed some depth behind Saquon Barkley, who can go down at any minute with an injury. Philadelphia Eagles, the toast of the draft. Everybody was drooling and giggling over them. They got an A plus. Now these are the NFC champions. They got Georgia. They drafted 3 Georgia guys, all on from the same team. Remember the Georgia team that won the national title. I mean, the Eagles are really building up a thing here on defense, right? They took Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, and then they came back and got Keelan Ringo, the corner. So, and then they took Alabama, Tyler Steen, Sidney Brown, safety out of Illinois. So, yeah, the Eagles did great. They did great. And they had 2 first-round picks. They got 2. Washington Commanders, C. Yeah, I don't know what the Commanders are going to do here. They gave, I guess that's it for the NFC East. Let's go to the NFC North. What kind of grades those guys get? The Vikings, let's start out with the NFC North. Come on. The Chicago Bears, who had a bunch of draft picks in this one, they got a B for their draft grade. The Detroit Lions got a C plus. They had 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks and 2 third-round picks. Green Bay Packers had a bunch of draft picks. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 draft picks. They got a B plus. Van Ness they took out of Iowa, defensive end, which some people think it was a reach. Then they drafted a whole bunch of tight ends, 2 tight ends in the first 2 rounds, a wide receiver, Jaden Reed out of Michigan State. They took a quarterback in the 5th round, Sean Clifford out of Penn State. Dotavian Wicks out of out of Virginia in the 5th round, wide receiver. So they got a couple wideouts. They took another one at the bottom of the draft who probably won't even make the team. Vikings, they got Jordan Addison at wide receiver USC with the 1st round pick. Then the 3rd round they got a corner out of USC. And then they took 2 LSU guys on defense for 5th round. Then they took Jaron Hall out of BYU at quarterback in the 5th round. Dwayne McBride out of UAB in the 7th round. Addison is by far the best player on that. All right. Let's check out the NFC South. So far the Eagles won the draft. Like if we believe in the experts. But we know all those guys are not experts, but we believe in them. The Eagles won the draft, at least so far. But so let's look at this. So we got the what should I say? The Falcons got a C grade on their draft. Baji Robinson, Bijan Robinson out of Texas, the running back. They think that he's a good chance he might be one of the best running backs this season as a rookie. But they're thinking he was picked too high. I just don't think you take a running back in the top 10. That to me, I think that was crazy, but that's what they wanted to do. And look, I say that, but at the same time, I also say if you see your guy, you get your guy, right? If you think that guy is your guy, he fits what you're trying to do, then you pick him. You know, but from a running back standpoint, I think this is there such thing as a running back that's our guy that fits that we need to take him in the top 10? No. Running backs are a dime a dozen. I think you make that case for like defensive ends or offensive tackles or quarterback, you know, stuff like that. Maybe a wide receiver, but other positions, you don't do that. They give the Panthers an A- with Bryce Young first pick, and then Jonathan Mingo 2nd round pick. So I'm not sold on Bryce Young. I know a lot of you guys like Bryce Young. I don't think he's going to be a great NFL quarterback. I just don't see it. I mean, but the New Orleans Saints, they got Breesy. They went defense early. Then they picked up a running back in the 3rd round out of TCU. Then they got a quarterback in the 4th round. And so they went mostly defense for the most part. Tampa Bay, what they're going to do, they didn't get a quarterback at all. I guess they're going to try to go with whoever they got. I mean, this draft looks like crap for Tampa Bay. They gave him a B. I don't know if that's a B. It looks worse than a B to me. I mean, I don't even know these guys. I'm just assuming it's a B just looking at the names. I just have a feel for when I see the names. I'm like, these guys don't look like they would be good. You know? So. But this Tampa Bay class it doesn't look that good. I would probably go C. but they gave him a B. So let's go to NFC West. See what that looks like. NFC West. Paris Johnson Jr. out of the Ohio State University. The Arizona Cardinals at the 6th pick. That was a good pick. They took a quarterback in the 5th round. All these teams that have quarterbacks took a quarterback, but the Tampa Bay didn't even take a quarterback, which is kind of odd. You know, I wonder what Tampa's plan is. Who's going to be Tampa's quarterback next year? Are they assuming that Tom Brady? Do they have some inside information? Maybe Tom Brady's coming back for another year on a down low. Maybe he's like, yeah, man, I got the itch to come back. Give it one more go. You know, like what is Tampa doing? I don't know. I'm just talking. The Rams took the Stetson Bennett in the 4th round. Can you believe that? I thought this guy would not get drafted at all. You know, you guys know who Stetson Bennett is, right? You know who that guy is. I probably said his name wrong. The Georgia quarterback who was like 45 years old, and he was caught up in all kind of mess this offseason. But the Rams said, hey, man, we need a quarterback. Ours is getting old. I mean, how much older? Like, isn't Stafford probably like only like a few years older than Bennett, right? I mean, not really, but he comes in. He's gonna be maybe the backup, probably. We'll see. But the 4th round, I mean, that's pretty high because I had this guy 6'7", maybe not undrafted. But going to the Rams, he's gonna be in LA. I mean, he's already a trouble guy in Georgia. He can get in a lot of trouble in LA too. This guy has been winning national titles. He's already a celebrity in his own mind. So we'll see what happens with that pick. We'll see how that works out in LA. He might already be older than Sean McVay. Okay, so San Francisco 49ers, they got a D+. Ooh, god damn. The critics are harsh on these guys. D+ on the grade. They said 49ers love doing weird things in the draft. It's hard to knock them too much because it never seems to hold them back. But taking kickers in the 3rd round is tough to justify. Otherwise, our spectacular class is propped up by addition of Brown early in the 3rd round. The Penn State product brings unique playmaking traits to the defensive back end. His ball production should translate well in the NFL with a terrific group of pass rushers doing their thing up front. So, these guys took a kicker in the 3rd round. Jake Moody out of Michigan. So, we'll see how that works out. Mr. Moody. Headed to Michigan. Seattle Sea Chickens. They got an A-. So far, Seattle's been the 2nd best team behind the Philadelphia She-Gulls. So you got the She-Gulls and the She-Hawks. I like to call them the Sea Chickens, but some people call them the She-Hawks. I don't know. I don't like the She-Hawks. I like Sea Chickens. So, Devin Witherspoon, excuse me, was the 5th pick, corner. And then you got Jackson Smith, another one they got wide out. They did pretty good. Cameron Young, defense tackle out of Mississippi State. And they did a pretty good job. You got to give Pete Carroll some credit there. Pete Carroll still doing his thing. Let's head over to the AFC. We go to the AFC East. Now, who had the best class in that? I'm not even have to look at the grades. The Patriots. What? Wait. They gave the high grade to the Buffalo Bills. Okay. I'm not gonna panic. The Buffalo Bills. Dalton Kincaid, 25th pick, tight end out of Utah. Nice pick. Nice pick. I thought they was going to go either running back or something else, but they went tight end. Not bad for Bills Mafia. They get an A- grade from the experts on the draft. These so-called experts. You can't see my hands, but I'm doing the quotes. Experts. But Miami Dolphins, who only had 4 picks, they got a C. Yeah, Cam Smith, second round out of South Carolina. They got a wide receiver in the 6th round, Elijah Higgins from Stanford. Their draft looked kind of shaky. They called, Dolphins had a double bunch of picks because they had stripped them a first rounder. Remember that whole tampering thing they had going on? So, they got Devin, some guy named Devin out of Texas A&M, who they are saying is one of the fastest players in the draft. Ran a 4.3. And he's a running back that can catch out of the backfield. So, the offense added more speed to that offense. Interesting. Patriots, they gave him a B. New England got one of the biggest steals in the first round, trading down and still coming away with Christian Gonzalez, an incredible athlete with a natural man coverage skills, which Bill loves. He's an excellent fit for the Bill Belichick defense. Keon White was a value pick on day 2. Then you had Martel Mappa from Sacramento State, a guy who will fit well with Belichick. And who else? Keyshawn Bout from LSU, who was a first rounder last season, but he ended up falling this year to the 6th round. So that could be a potential value pick. He's a wideout. He might not see much playing time unless he could beat out those other guys. They also took another wide receiver, Demario Douglas, out of Liberty. So, and then they took 2 more corners in the 6th round and the 7th round, which I think Bill's going to turn one of those guys into a stud. Bill is, if you look at the draft and see what Bill did here, he obviously went, he grabbed a kicker, he went to get a punter. So he's looking for guys who can perform. That these guys are going to be cheap, obviously. He went offensive guard and defense, right? So he's looking at protecting the quarterback. He's also looking at beefing up that defense with some depth at the ends and the linebackers, and of course corners. So Bill's looking to re-up that defense. He only really went after 2 offensive weapons. He didn't consider any offensive weapons, despite the fact that the Patriots had a shitty offense last year, right? I mean, so he feels like if he could protect the quarterback, Mac Jones gets another year. You got offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien coming in, unlike last season where it was a complete mess at the coordinator position with Matt Patricia. You get a real coordinator in there, a guy who knows offense, and O'Brien. Maybe he could do something with that offense with the pieces that they still have, which is not, they're not terrible pieces. I know everyone loves to laugh at the past, but you got to remember, they didn't have an offensive coordinator last year. So what O'Brien could do with Bourne and Juju, with Mac and the rest of the crew, he may be able to pull something together. And Bill's going to have that defense ready. He went out and added some depth. He's going to put together, the Patriot defense is going to be easily top 5 next year. I can just feel it. I know it. And he's going to ask Mac. He gave him some guards. But we're going to protect you. He got him a center, Jake Andrews, in the 4th round out of Troy. Who knows if he can start or not. They did draft another guy. Last year, they drafted Cole Stranger, who was also supposed to be a center. So maybe there's some versatility going on there where they can, play. He loves versatile offensive line who can do centers, right guard, left guard. They can play multiple. So we'll see how that works. But So he's protecting the he's like, look, whoever's the quarterback, whether it be Mac Jones, Zach Bailey, whoever, we're protecting you. Don't turn the ball over. That's all he's gonna ask them to do. Do not turn the ball over. If you don't turn the ball over, we're gonna win games. And that's pretty much it. He's not looking for the highlight guy or the big playmaker. He's not looking for the guy who's gonna get you 15 catches for 100 yards, 190 yards. He's not looking for that. He's looking for protect the ball. The defense is gonna do the rest. And that's what that draft pretty much told us. So, New York Jets. The New York Jets. The Jets. Sucks. I was going to say that every time. We got about 10 minutes left till we're out of here. 8 minutes. So, the Jets are a C+. They gave them a C+ grade. Let me see. Down should be a great addition to the Jets pass rush group. Yeah, he's gonna be a good defensive end. I don't think Jets gonna be that good this year. What they won 7 games last year? Maybe they win 8, 9. I mean, the division's tough. All you guys got the Patriots as the last place team. Jets are gonna be last place, not the Patriots. It's gonna be the Jets still. And we might have 3 teams make the playoffs, honestly. But is the Jets gonna be one of them? I don't know. Jets and Dolphins are going to be fighting for that last spot. Patriots are in. They're going to be number 2 at worst. Might even win the division. Yep, I said it. They might win the division because Buffalo, once the Patriots, the Bill has seen enough of the Bills. He has seen them a couple of years. He knows what they can do. Not, he's going to be ready. Look at what he drafted. He drafted defense because he's going after Josh Allen. Right? They're playing chess. Bills move. I'm going to get a bunch of defensive guys to go up against your offense. And he's also ready for Miami, who's got speed. That's why he's building that defense. Depth. Rotate guys in and out. Who's better at rotational guys and versatile guys than Bill Belichick? That's why Bill's going to have those guys ready. Hey, you can play multiple positions? Okay, good. You go here, next play, you're going to be playing on that side of the field. He's going to be confusing the shit out of the Bills in Miami. And the Jets? Who's worried about the Jets? We're not worried about the Jets. So, all right, that's the AFC East. Let's move on to the AFC North. The Cincinnati Bengal division. The Bengals, who are going to be in the AFC Championship game next year. Bengals, the Baltimore Ravens got a B. They got a good wide receiver. Boston College, Zay Flowers. The kid's going to be good. And some people didn't think they was going to do it because they signed Odell Beckham Jr., but why wouldn't they? I mean, Odell Beckham Jr. came with 2 ACLs. They don't know if he's going to hold up. He's only there for 1 year. So if you see a wide receiver like Zay Flowers, you better take him. That would be completely stupid not to. And they did. Smart move. Flowers is a great addition to the new look Ravens offense. He could have been drafted much earlier. And they said they wanted to see the Ravens address their cornerback need. Well, they probably should because, I mean, in that division, going up against Cincinnati and in that conference, I mean, there's a lot of good wide receivers in the AFC. So you must be planning on giving up a lot of points, Baltimore. But they did grab a corner late in the 5th round out of Stanford. But let's move on. Cincinnati Bengals. They get an A-. That's scary. And looking at their draft, they went corner a bit. They got defensive end. They went out and grabbed some more wide receivers. Charlie Jones out of Purdue. Another guy out of Princeton who probably will be on special teams. They got a running back, Chase Brown out of Illinois. I've seen a few Illinois guys in the draft. Illinois putting out some good products. They grabbed a punter. They got a safety, Jordan Battle out of Alabama. And a corner in the last round, A-. Yeah, Bengals are slowly towards elite organization territory, people. So they've been drafting really good And Murphy is an athletic pass rusher who should have been gone way before number 28. But Turner was the fastest player at the combine. DJ Turner, the corner out of Michigan. I mean, the Bengals are putting together a nice team. And soon they're going to have to give Joe Burrow a big contract. Joe Burrow is about due for that big old payday. And then Jamal Chase is coming right behind them. So they know what they got to do. They trying to win. I think the Bengals go to the Super Bowl this year, in my opinion. I think they come out of the AFC. They at least go to the AFC Championship. They might go to the Super Bowl. It'd be crazy if they win the Super Bowl before they have to make the payments. Man, that'd be crazy. But I mean, Bengals they building up. It's almost not fair how good these guys are gonna be. They took a Cleveland Browns, Cedric Tillman in the 3rd round. That was their first time they got the pick. They went out and got a wide receiver out of Tennessee. Then they took a quarterback in the 5th round, some guy named Dorian Thompson Robinson out of UCLA. So I guess for a team that didn't have a 1st or 2nd round, they did pretty solid, according to the experts. They got a B+. Pittsburgh Steelers. Joey Porter Jr. in the 2nd round. How about that? Former Steeler great Joey Porter. Now Joey Porter Jr. Cornerback, 2nd round. Steelers crushed the draft. They got an A+. All attention will be on the Eagles for the 1st round haul, but nobody had a more complete draft than Mike Tomlin and first-time GM Omar Khan. Jones is a freakish athlete. Talking about Broderick Jones. A freakish athlete who brings limited upside in filling Pittsburgh's most glaring need. Staying patient in the top of the 2nd round, they get a legacy pick in Joey Porter Jr. that take care of their must-have position, a selection acquired from the Chicago last season in a robbery that was the Chase Claypool trade. Benton out of Washington and Herbig are all future starters who could have been drafted much earlier. Some teams simply draft better than others. There's a reason this team never falls off. Yeah, Steelers did good. I give them that. They're gonna be in contention. That AFC North is gonna be so goddamn good this year. Right? Like the Browns will probably be last place. Let's just admit it. They gave that money to Deshaun Watson. They crushed the team for the rest of the next decade. But the Bengals are going to be the top of the class. Ravens and Steelers. I think the Steelers are number 2. Ravens potentially number 2, but they'll probably be number 3. And then the Cleveland Browns are going to be in the basement. AFC South, the worst division in football, probably. At least in the AFC by far. This is the Jacksonville Jaguars division to lose, in my opinion. Let's see how the draft went. Houston Texans got a B+. They picked up C.J. Stroud from Ohio State. I don't trust anybody from Ohio State. That's going to be great. On the quarterback side, not sold on it. The Will Anderson Jr. pick was solid. They got that at number 3 out of Alabama. And let's see what else they get. They said they deserve a ton of credit. Apparently, they got the best defense player in the draft, according to the experts. But who knows? And then, what else did they get? Even with the improvements made to the Houston roster, we shouldn't rule out the possibility that the 2024 first rounder ends up falling in the top 3 picks. Such an outcome, even if Anderson becomes a premier All-Pro. Ooh. So what are they saying? Did they trade picks? Oh wow. Wait a minute. They traded up to number 3, but in doing so, they might have taken themselves out of the potential of drafting Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. next year. Who I've heard Marvin Harrison Jr. is supposed to be the real fucking deal. So you draft your QB of the future, and you're gonna miss out on your wide receiver of the future potentially. So I guess Will Anderson is gonna be worth it. Damn, they gave up. So who gets that first round pick? Who they gave it up to? I don't even know who got it. Could you imagine? That's crazy. Indianapolis Colts got a B plus. All the Will Levis talk just for the Colts to make the right decision with Richardson. Is it really the right decision though? I mean, come on. Will Levis has a hot girlfriend. First of all, you see this girl? She's a smoke show. That right there should have been enough for you to draft Will Levis. The guy knows how to win. He knows how to pick winners. When a quarterback that can make a great decision off the field is a great leader, Will Levis should have been that pick. He's a guy that knows how to make good decisions. Look at his girlfriend. Okay? So that right there would have told me, hey, man, we got to take this guy. He knows how to make decisions. That's what you want out of a quarterback. But they think Anthony Richardson is going to be better. I don't see that. I'm not sold on Anthony Richardson. I am not sold. But the Colts got him, and they'll have fun being in last place next year, and maybe they'll be in line to draft Marvin Harrison Jr. next year. And then they can put together a nice Richardson to Harrison Jr. combo. Who knows? I just don't see it. I'm not sold on Richardson. He's going to have to prove me wrong. If he does, I'll come back and say, hey, man, I was wrong. But I doubt it. I doubt I will. Jacksonville Jaguars. They got a C+. Jaguars clearly weren't drafting for need. It's hard to default them for that approach because every team strives for the best available strategy. But it's also tough to be too excited about a group that failed to address Jacksonville's most pressing need on the defensive end. So they didn't really do anything for defense. Okay. Well, hey, man. They're the Jaguars. I still think they're their favorites to win the AFC South. They got Trevor Lawrence, the best quarterback in the division. They'll be fine. Tennessee Titans. Welcome to Nashville, Will Levis. The Kentucky man got drafted in the second round at the number 33rd pick after sitting all day in the first round with his smoking hot girl on day 1. He got drafted in day 2. Great, good pickup, but the problem is Tennessee's probably not the best team for Will. They're not ready to win. They don't have nothing going on there. They didn't address anything. They did take an offensive tackle in the first round, who was supposed to be pretty good. Potential Pro Bowler no matter where he ends up playing on offense. So he will protect Levis. Can Levis beat out whoever the starter is in Tennessee? It's so weird because didn't Tennessee draft Malik Willis last year? And everyone was saying Malik Willis is going to be great. He's the greatest thing ever. Like they were hyping this guy up, and now they took a quarterback in the second round. Malik Willis, you must be feeling real low today. They probably get rid of you. So, but let's see what they say about this. I mean, this is a first round quarterback that ends up in the second round. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. So, last but not least, before we get out of here, we're already over time. We'll be out in 9 minutes sharp. 4:30. I did say 4:30 though. I did say that. Denver Donkeys. They only had like 5 picks, so this should be quick. They didn't have a first rounder because of Russell Wilson, especially when you consider that they played their debut. That they had a shitty season this year. They had no, I mean, but they did get Marvin Mims from Oklahoma to help out Russell. They went out and got a linebacker in the third round, a corner in the third round, a safety, and a center. So C plus for the Denver Donkeys, considering. How about the Super Bowl champions Kansas City Chiefs? They got a B minus. They did pretty decent. Not great, but decent. They added some depth on defense. They got a wide receiver from SMU, offensive tackle, which is much needed to protect Mahomes. Some defensive tackle, defensive end, obviously early in the first round, late first round. They got a corner, so they added some depth. Who knows how many of those guys will make the team? Las Vegas Raiders. Tyree Wilson, defensive end out of Texas Tech, with the 7th overall pick. And then Michael Mayer, tight end in the second round. That was a big one out of Notre Dame. Big pick. Byron Young out of Alabama. That was a good pick. They took a quarterback in the 4th round. Aiden O'Connell from Purdue. So we'll see. And the LA Chargers, Quentin Johnston, TCU wideout, 21st pick. And the offensive linebacker, outside linebacker, Tuli Tupoloto. I know I butchered that. UFC guy, USC, you know who he is. Okay, I'm not gonna go into that. So they stayed local with that. They got their outside linebacker with. That's a good. You pair him up with Bosa. That's gonna be pretty damn good. They took another TCU wide receiver, Darius Davis, and then they took Max Duggan, the quarterback, in the 7th round. So they just took the whole TCU's offense in the draft. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe they all looked so good during pro day. They was like, did the Chargers send their offensive scout, pro scout, to TCU and watch those guys throw to each other? They was like, yeah, we like how these guys fit. We'll just draft all 3 of you. So we'll see if all 3 of those guys make the team. Now, Max, this is a long shot for you. 7th round pick. You're not getting on the field. Justin Herbert's there and probably going to be a veteran backup more likely. So he probably won't even make it. He'll probably be on practice squad. Maybe they'll put all of them on practice squad. I don't know. So that's that, man, for the NFL draft grades and analysis, sponsored by nobody. With 5 minutes, we'll be out of here. And, yeah. So, as we get ready to wrap this up on the night shift on Sports Steady Radio, we, don't forget, guys, big day. We're going to be back on Sports Steady TV later on today. I'll be back on Sports Steady TV. That's why I'm going to get off, go to sleep, and get up in the next 6 hours to get ready for Game 7 and from the NBA playoffs. Probably do some baseball and hockey. I want to do baseball stuff, but we can't really. I gotta find a good site for the scoreboard for baseball, so because I don't like to just be live without showing something. We show some highlights, some clips. But they are so anal about the baseball clips, man. You play a 2-second highlight clip. You play one pitch, and they're like, ban. They're like, oh, copyright. Like, what? It's like 1 second, and I'm giving analysis. How could it be copyright? because I thought YouTube said you're allowed to post video if you're giving analysis or commenting or repurposing the content. And they still the sports, they don't care about repurpose. They'll still, you know why they do that? Because what they trying to get you to do is they want you to sign a contract. Because we was approached a while ago on another channel we got that's pretty successful. We was approached by one of the leagues to allow to use their clips and stuff, but they wanted to do all this crazy stuff where they basically own you and shit. And they tell you how you can repurpose it, what you can say. And I'm like, we're not doing that. Otherwise, let's forget it. We just want to use your stuff. But yeah, they're really bad about that. Like they want you, because I guess they don't want you criticizing it anyway. You know, because we got emails and we got threatened for posting the Terry Collins. You remember Terry Collins when he was going off cursing at the refs? They threatened us for posting that, and that's why you really can't find the video anywhere. It's pretty much banned off the internet. And at first they were trying to threaten us because when we posted that thing went viral the first time. Now it doesn't. You try to repost it now, even if you got it and you try to repost it, it's not going to go viral because they have it in the system now to flag it. But when we first posted it, when it first came out, that thing shot off the roof. And it wasn't like a straight up re-upload. It was a repurpose like YouTube asks. But we was getting letters from MLB and they were threatening us. They want threatening some mob shit. Like, we're gonna take you out, like we're gonna kill you, stuff like that. I mean, they didn't say that, but not me, not literally like physically. You're talking about like stop you and like delete your channel, get all that stuff happening. And then YouTube removed it. I guess after we didn't comply. But that was one of the best videos ever. I mean, people like that stuff, but they don't want that out there. They don't want their league to look like that. So you can really find those clips. You can really find anything like that unless you have a contract with the league. Then you can repost it. Like you can repost like the Palace Malice if you have a contract. And even in some cases, the leagues are so powerful that they're even deleting content from you. So say if you was at a game, right, and you recorded content from your phone, not from the broadcast, they will still try to have it deleted. They'll say, oh, it belongs to the NBA. Like, how's that? How do they belong to the NBA when it's the cell phone footage of a fan recording a situation? Or they still claim that. Because I guess if you, maybe somewhere down on the fine print, when you buy a ticket to a game, that they own all the stuff. They can at any time. That's why you guys got to pay attention and read the fine print on like tickets and all that stuff. You got to know, because you think you go to a game and record shit and record stuff, and then they'll have it flagged. They can do it. Because I think it's something inside the agreement when you go to an arena that they have the right to have that removed. That's why you gotta pay attention, folks. You gotta wake up. But anyway, we're out of here. I'm out of here. Thanks for everybody that was watching. Thanks for all the 1-2 people that was watching. I'm exaggerating. It was probably like 0.1 person. Okay, anyway. So don't forget we got Game 7. And damn, we didn't even talk about that Celtics Philly series. That I think that starts tomorrow or Tuesday or something like that. But we'll probably talk about that next week, next Saturday. That series will still be going on. It'll probably be in like Game 5 or 4. 3 or 4. But yeah. All right, folks. Have a good day. We'll see you later. Don't forget Twitch, Sports Steady on Twitch. We will be live later on today, as well as Rumble and YouTube on Sports Steady TV. Not on Sports Steady Radio, Sports Steady TV. to do the games. Sports page run by sports fans. Peace.